Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're at in the world today. It's been a wild morning this morning. Super excited to get up early, get my live stream going, only to have my computer not turn on. Totally broken computer, full-blown panic, but we're up and running. Guys, I'm gonna need your help today. I didn't have time to do research on homes because my computer is broken. Did find one home. I thought we'd focus on beach houses today. So jump on to Zillow, go find some cool beach houses, throw the address in the chat, and we'll take a look at them. Help me out today. Let me get my screen looking good here. Yeah, it's not fun when you are so excited to do a live stream and everything breaks on you. Didn't even have time to set my video settings. So we're just gonna go with it. Live, you can't quit just because things aren't going your way. All right. I think that's as good as we're going to get it this morning. If you are watching, throw a comment in chat. Is my audio okay? I know the music's not on yet. My computer's doing something really weird. It has the volume totally on full blast. So I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Should be able to hear me. All right, so let's get to some housekeeping items. Okay, audio is good. I'm gonna try turning the music back on. You guys tell me what happens here.
But after you run it and you go into your folder where your printer.cfg is, you should see your firmware.bin file. So now you just right-click download, and you have it. So now you can just drag and drop it onto an SD card, rename it to whatever you have to rename it to, install it into your SKR or other controller board, and flash it. Now, the last thing I'm going to cover is not specifically a Clipper issue, but I'm going to touch on it because it affects all 3D printers, and it's a common question I get asked about. And you may have seen this come up. Have you ever run a new print after canceling a print or restarting a print, and you've gotten the error warning move out of range? Now, this issue comes up because of the way 3D printers interpret G-code, how movement commands are based, and the fact that it remembers previous commands or states. So for those that don't know, there are two common types of movement with CNC machines and 3D printers. You have G90 movements and G91 movements. Now, a G90 movement is an absolute movement. So what that means is the easiest way to interpret this is your 3D printer is a grid, let's say 0 to 300.
This to begin with. There. All right. Let's look at interest rates. Okay. Mortgage News Daily is my go-to website for all things interest rate related. These rates are great, guys. 6.16 is the 30-year fixed conventional interest rate today. That's excellent. FHA, kind of our benchmark, 5.79. I think that is at a 3-year low. 6.16, guys, we're so close to breaking 6%. I think it's going to happen before this summer, but only time will tell. But if you have been sitting on the sidelines, now might be the time to start shopping. VA 5.81, jumbo loans 6.35. Okay. Let's take a look at some market data here in Southwest Washington. Every week, Gavin Huckins over at Berkshire Hathaway sends over some market statistics for us. It was a wild Christmas season, Christmas and New Year's, we saw massive drop-offs in activity in Southwest Washington, and it's been coming back strong. New listings 256, that's up 20%, and pending sales 207. This is the third week in a row we've seen new listings exceed pending sales. And that's great news for our inventory as we get into the buying season. And to be honest, guys, the buying season's starting so early. We haven't seen a January and February like this since COVID. So as we get busier and busier, we want to make sure that the inventory is going to be there for all the buyers. And it's looking good. So we want to be monitoring these numbers very closely. We want to see those new listings continue to exceed the homes that have gone pending so that we have inventory. Okay, as a reminder, I need your guys' help this morning. Computer totally took a massive dump this morning. Wouldn't turn on. It's still acting really weird. The lights say it's off, but it's on. So it's acting very weird. So I didn't have time to find my normal 3 homes. I was going to do beach houses, winter beach shopping, house shopping today, and Mrs. Steinman threw in the first address. So go on to Zillow, find some cool houses you want to see. We'll take a look, we'll run numbers, we'll do all those things. But help me out. Go find a home. Mrs. Steinman, we'll get to that address in just 1 minute. Okay, every time a real estate agent opens a lockbox on a home, that data is collected, and that's what we're looking at here. Lockbox activity, very good. You see this massive jump we had after the holidays. Up 1.7% in Oregon, and also up down 1.7. I read that wrong. Down 1.7 in Washington. We're going to call this flat. Nothing to be concerned about here. I'm willing to place a wager that next week we're going to see these numbers in the double digits. Okay, I'm going to make one last attempt at getting our music on here. I just got to find the one of 1,000 tabs that are open that are playing YouTube. Hopefully we can find it here. I found it. Okay, I think we can turn our music on. All right, we're back up and running. Music should be on. The Joe New team. What odds are you giving me? Good morning, Joe. Joe is a coworker of mine, one of the best mortgage loan originators in the state of Texas. I got to go down and spend some time with him a couple weeks ago. Joe, normally we're all organized here. We're looking at homes, we're having fun, but I had some major computer issues this morning. Joe, if you have the ability, why don't you find us a beach house in Texas, and we'll run numbers on that one. We got to spend some quality time with Joe and his friends. He got to meet some of my friends on a guy's weekend. All right. I feel like we're back on track. Let's take a look. I did find one home. We're going to look at my house first, and we'll go to Mrs. Steinman, and maybe Joe can throw an address in chat in Texas. The reason I'm doing beach houses this weekend is because on last week's stream, we had 4 people watching that were at the beach. 2 of them were in their brand new beach houses. So I thought it'd be fun, since everyone was at the beach, let's do a beach house episode. It's been since the summertime since we've done one. We're currently in Long Beach, Washington right now. And it's 50 degrees outside, misty, but it feels very, very good to be here during the winter. We have had snow in the past. I don't see it on the forecast, but we have driven on the beach in the snow before. So All right, enough goofing around. We're going to 1309 257th place in Ocean Park. 3 beds, 1 bath, 1454, built in 1915. The fans of the show know I love old homes, especially at the beach. We're in a house that was built in 1890 right now. And it's just a lot of fun, especially if you grew up watching This Old House. It's kind of like living in an episode of This Old House. All right, for those of you who are not familiar with Southwest Washington, Joe New is in the chat from Texas. He probably isn't super familiar, but the Columbia River separates Oregon and Washington. So normally we spend our time here in the Portland, Vancouver metro area, but if you follow that river west, it goes and dumps into the Pacific Ocean. And in the farthest southwest corner of Washington, you will find the Long Beach Peninsula. And this home is located up the peninsula in a little town called Ocean Park. The Long Beach Peninsula is great if you love clamming, if you love fishing, crabbing. The Columbia River is one of the best salmon fisheries in the world. You can fish the ocean and you can fish the river. You can clam razor clams, which I believe there's a tide this weekend. Butter clams, oysters. It's just a great place to be, and you're only 2 hours to Portland, Vancouver. All right. So let's see here. This home is listed by Scott. Just a short walk to the beach from this amazing Ocean Park home. Relax and take it all in. Turnkey home has been updated but retains its beach charm. Roof, windows, flooring, and new mini split have been updated in the past 3 years. That's great. Lovely home in a perfect location on a quiet street. This home has a large living room with new flooring, a huge kitchen with large dining table, and 3 bedrooms. The bath is bright and cheery. In the back of the home is a utility room to store all of your beach toys. Everything is included, down to the dishes and utensils. A nice mini split heater and air conditioner will keep you cozy, close to Jack's restaurants, shopping, and the Ocean Park Beach approach. Guys, Jack's is the coolest hardware store, and it's the oldest continuing operating business in the state of Washington. I want to show you one more thing on the map here. And one of the reasons I pulled this house up is because it's listed for $420,000. And look where it's located. You are right 1 block from the beach for under $500,000. Good luck finding that anywhere else on the West Coast. Okay. Kind of skim through these pictures here. Like the seagulls. 1 story. Definitely has that vintage home charm. Little beach bungalow. Okay. Looks like wood laminate flooring. Love the ceiling. Nice millwork around the windows. We're dealing with 1,454 square feet. Hard to tell. It looks like an old fireplace that they've covered up with an electric fireplace. Hopefully we get a better look here. Cool kitchen. A little on the small side. There's your mini split. Now, if this home was in Vancouver, this kitchen would not be that attractive, right? But one thing I love about our beach house is it is a vintage home, and it's so different from what you get back home. I don't want a D.R. Horton stick-built, cookie cutter home at the beach. I want something with a ton of character that kind of feels like I'm in a cabin, a beach cabin. which I think this does. There, now you guys can see me better. One thing you want to look at on these old homes in the kitchen is a dishwasher. I do not see a dishwasher, which isn't that big of a deal. We don't have a dishwasher in our house, but it is something you want to take note of. Very teal bathroom. There's one bath in this house. Bedroom number 1. A little on the small side. Bedroom number 2. Here's our garage. Bedroom number 3. So one thing I'd want to find out is what's going on with this fireplace. It's an electric fireplace to have here. Is it out of commission? Is there a wood stove back there? So that's gonna be one of my first questions. Nice lot. And there's the beach. Guys, look how close you are to the beach. There's the house, there's the ocean. Good morning, Diana, how are you? Diana's got an open house today, I believe. Diana, if you want to pimp your open house, throw the address and the time in the chat. Diana also has a, maybe I'm not supposed to talk about this, but you have a new podcast coming out. Name to be determined, where everyone will be drinking out of Stanley cups. All right, we'll talk about your open house here in just a second, Diana. So here's the picture of Ocean Park. There's Jack's hardware store, some good restaurants here. The beach approach to drive down to the beach is just 1 block north of your house here. So very cool. Okay, I threw this together so fast. There are many ways to finance a home like this. We're just gonna look at financing it as a second home, 20% down, very vanilla. Again, throw your addresses in chat if you want to help out and find a cool beach house that we'll look at here. We're going to do 3 of them today. And maybe we'll get a little more creative, but we're just looking basic. So the purchase price on this home is $420,000. We're putting 20% down, which would make our loan amount $336,000. Interest rates today, according to Mortgage News Daily, the national average, 6.16. Breakdown of our payment, $2,049 for principal and interest. Property taxes, okay, $185 a month for property taxes. That is extremely affordable. Homeowners insurance, somewhere around $100 a month for a total payment of $2334 for your own beach cabin. Ooh, Joe's got a fun one to look at. We're going to look at financing one as a vacation rental here in a minute. All right, so we're looking at a payment of $2,300. Before we negotiate and ask the sellers to pay closing costs and all that stuff, we're just shy of $100,000, $93,691 for total out-of-pocket expenses. So, you know, maybe you're sitting on some equity at home. Maybe you took out a home equity line of credit in the last year or two, just in case, and you're waiting for that perfect beach house to pop up. Here's a way to do it. $93,000, $2,300 payment, very affordable. You can have your own beach cabin. All right, we did it. I got over the jitters of the complete nightmare of my computer not turning on. I had about 5 minutes to prepare for this morning stream. But it's gonna be fun because you guys are sending me addresses. I'm getting them my text. I'm getting them in chat. Ooh. Okay, Joe, we're gonna look at yours next. Before I do that, if you want one of these consultations built out for you, You can scan the QR code, schedule a 15-minute call with me. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you have. I think anybody looking at refinancing, trying to figure out maybe is this the year I buy a new house, I think anybody interested in real estate could benefit from a call with me. If you are watching from Texas, you can benefit from a call with Joe New. But scan this QR code and you can schedule that call with me. All right. Let's pull up Joe's house. Sorry, Mrs. Steinman. We're going to skip yours. We'll come back to it, but I'm really interested in Joe's. Let's see, I think he texted it to me. Did you email it to me, Joe? Joe, if you don't want to put well, we're going to look at the address. So either throw the address in chat or text it to me. It's in the chat. Okay. I don't see it, Joe. Can you throw it in the chat again? It's in Galveston, Texas. I have some family in Galveston. They might be watching. I hear Galveston's a great place to own. Oh, the problem, Joe, is you can't put links in the chat. They don't work. YouTube blocks people from putting links in chat. If you just want to throw the address in chat, that's why I'm not seeing it. Yeah, so if Uncle Mark, if you're watching, say hi in chat. I hear Galveston's a great place to own a beach house. Stay Golden with Diana is the name of her upcoming podcast. A little nod to the Golden Girls. Okay, while we're waiting for Joe to throw that address in chat or text it to me, whatever is easiest for you, Joe. Diana has an open house today at 1411 Southeast 182nd Avenue. Great little starter home, Diana. $549,900, 3 beds, 2 baths, 1,729 square feet, built in 2002. Oh yeah, Fisher's Landing area, highly desirable part of Vancouver. What time is your open house this morning, Diana? Thanks, Joe. $12 to $2. Here's the thing. These 1,500 to 1,800 square foot, one level homes. A couple weeks ago, we talked about what I thought was going to be the trend in our market this summer, this buying season. These homes are at $550 are going to be a diamond in the rough come June. So if you are looking, you're starting to shop, if you see a house like this pop up, just know that, especially if rates continue to improve, homes like this under $600,000 in Vancouver are going to be it's going to be very, very competitive. So 12 to 2 today, Diana Rutherford, friend of the show, is going to be holding this house open, and then 1 to 3 tomorrow. Okay, Joe texted me the address. Let's go to Galveston. Oh man, this sounds really nice. It's going to make Long Beach look like a slum. Oh, so you sent me the vacation, the VBRO listing. It doesn't want to give an address. The thing is, Joe, this does not have the address. But I'm going to try to pull it up anyways. We're live. Live and unscripted. Okay. All right, we may not be able, if we can't get the address, we may not be able to run numbers, but we can definitely look at this home here. In fact, let's do this. I have a game. I have a game we're all going to play. Let's see who can guess the price of this home. All right, so we're in Galveston. This home is renting for $14.86 per night is average. So great rental income potential. Wow, look at that. Especially if you're looking at a DSCR loan. Now, we've talked about these DSCR loans before on the stream. They're the worst name for a mortgage program out there. It's debt servicing coverage ratio loan. Not very sexy at all, but it is a really, really great way to buy rental properties, especially short-term rental properties. Let's look at some pictures here. When you're using that type of program, you're qualifying based off the income the house is producing. So it's more like the house needs to be pre-approved, not you. The only thing we need from you is a credit score and a down payment. I don't care about your tax returns. I don't care about your P&Ls. I don't care about your business bank statements and your CPA letters. All that is normally required. It can be very frustrating. Guys, I think we're back. I think I totally saved it. It wanted to crash, and I didn't let it. Look at that, we're back. All right, we're back. My computer tried to end the stream, but I did not let it. Good morning, Steelhead. All right, so we have some guesses on pricing here. Diana said $975, I thought I saw. Mrs. Steinman says $1.2 million. I think you guys are both low. Wow, look at that staircase. It's a very interesting door. Wow, beautiful ceiling. View of the ocean. Or Gulf, view of the Gulf. Yeah, this is, I think we're above 2 million for a house like this. Beautiful kitchen. Can you imagine spending 4th of July down there? I bet they do an amazing fireworks show in Galveston. Wow. I just wish I had the address so we can look up the price. but I have an idea. Let's guess. We're gonna guess. Okay, Joe doesn't have the actual address. It's 2.3 million. I win. I was the closest. It's been rented for years now, generating about $480,000 in rent. Okay. Cool built-in bunk beds. Rental here would be perfect for this program, and we're only going to use the rental income, your credit score, and a down payment to qualify. We're not going to go through all the pain in the neck tax returns. Looks like we lost our chat window. So it's going on the market for 2.3 million. So I'm going to put together some numbers really fast for us here. Man, look at that view. This is all the fun stuff I do before the stream starts, but if you're just joining us, my computer totally broke this morning, would not turn on. So we're doing it live, which is kind of fun. I'll let you guys dictate what we look at. Okay, so our purchase price in this one is 2.3 million. Now the interest rate on these debt servicing loans can vary quite a bit depending on Beach Club. Mrs. Steinman's ready to move. Look at that. Okay. Joe knew if you had a guess on the property taxes, since we can't look it up, what would you guess the property taxes are down there on this home? 12 grand a month or 12 grand a year? I'm going to say 12 grand a year, and we can come back and change this if we find out. But this will give us a good idea. Okay. So on this beach mansion in Galveston, the purchase price is going to be 2.3 million. In that ballpark. We don't know for sure, it's not on the market yet, but we anticipate to come on somewhere around there. If we put 25% down, our loan amount would be $1,725,000. Interest rates on these type of loans can vary quite a bit. HOA is $2,000 per year. I'll add that in here in just a second. But somewhere between 6.5% and 7% is probably where you're going to fall. There's a lot of ways to structure these. They can be on an adjustable rate. They can be on a 30-year fixed. In fact, if I got your attention and you're like, tell me more about these debt servicing loans, it sounds right. It sounds like that program was designed for me. You can scan this QR code and schedule a call with me and we can discuss further. And if you're in Texas or want to buy in Texas and this house and this program is something you're interested in, I can introduce you to Joe New, who's in the chat, who's a coworker of mine, one of the best, busiest, top producing mortgage loan originators in the state of Texas. So we're going to use 6.5% on this one. If we look at a payment breakdown, principal, $10,903 a month. Property taxes, we don't know. Joe says $15,000 a year. The wind and flood insurance is additional $3,600 a year. Okay, so let's do some math here. Property taxes at $15,000. So that's $1,250. Uh-oh, I may have lost my keyboard. There we go. And then I think you said $36,000 a year for flood insurance. So we'll call that $3,000 a month. I am such a pro at this live streaming. You guys have no idea. My keyboard just turned off. It's all right. I have a backup keyboard handy. Okay. Software's crashing, live stream's frozen. Okay. May have just lost the internet. If you guys can still hear me, we're at a total monthly payment of $15,153. I think I lost everybody. All right, hopefully you guys can hear me. Okay, I think throw something in chat if we're still up and running. Joe's still here. Okay, I think we're still up and running. So you're looking roughly at a payment of around $15,153 before the HOAs, which I think Joe said was $200 a month. So these are very rough numbers, but we're getting a good idea, okay? Now, Joe says this house is currently annually $65,000 and $485,000 a year in short-term rental income. $1,750 a month. At $300,000, that's $25,000 a month. So we are far exceeding the monthly payment of $15,000. This house would be perfect for a debt servicing coverage ratio loan. I'm sorry, Mrs. Steinman, we're not going to get to your beach house. I'm going to go ahead and call it on this stream. We're running into so many technical difficulties. Wanted to do a special shout out to Diana Rutherford, friend of the show, Gavin Huckins, friend of the show with Berkshire Hathaway. Details Home Inspections, always showing up and supporting the Mortgage Hound. Joe New, it was fun having you on this morning, kind of a surprise.